What's up, everybody? Welcome to Healthier Home Products. And today we're going to be discussing something very, very important to you. We have Cleaning Ken, as always, and we have Aaron joining us from Healthier Home Products. How's it going, friends?
It's going great on my side. I'm just so happy Aaron's joined us again. I feel like, long lost friend, relative has been missing, and now she's back.
The show is complete. And I will tell you that we have a sponsor for today's show. Did you guys know this?
No.
The sponsor is My Tile Grout, which if you watch the Lean Green Dad channel, you will know that My Tile Grout is super happy because we use this and this to clean it. Now, if you have dirt and grime in your tile grout, make sure you go check out Pull It Out, because Pull It Out has multiple uses, one of which is taking the grime and grease and gross nastiness out of your tile grout. Go check it out at healthierhomeproducts.com. There we go. That's the sponsor.
That's a heck of a sponsor.
Listen, today we're talking about school, okay? And if you're a parent, you got a kid either going to school, doing a combo of school and home, or they're just home, driving you crazy, driving you nuts, making you shave your head because your kids are home nonstop. And if you haven't figured it out yet, that's me. That's my situation. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But Aaron, I understand you have children close to you pretty much at all times as well, but sometimes they go to school, sometimes they don't. What's the current situation with you?
Well, I have two different situations going on. My youngest is in pre-K, and she is one of the fortunate few that still gets to go to school every day. So, obviously masks are required at this point. They have some new and unusual habits that they have to be in at school. They have to have a separate pair of shoes that they can only wear in their classroom and have to change before they enter the classroom. And again, when they leave it, it's part of the COVID guidelines that they have to follow. Obviously, there's also lots of sanitizing going on, and it's definitely a new situation for her. But at 4 years old, she's taken it into stride really well. She's just excited to be back by people at this point.
Yeah.
She missed all of her friends from last year, so it's
Love it.
going really well for her. My 12-year-old, on the other hand, is participating in something called hybrid learning this year,
Yep.
which means half the time she's at school, half the time she's remote learning, which for her means that she gets to come to work with me 2 to 3 days a week.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
work
been
at her
really
hybrid desk.
interesting.
That's right.
But I would say, because I'm here too at work, and I would say, from a functional standpoint, it's been surprisingly. And now Erin's a realist. She's a big realist. She knew what she was in for. There was no surprise. You can't pull the wool over Erin's eyes. I'm going to tell you that right now. But this process of having somebody in that's normally not, it's a workplace, but somebody here, and they've got their defined learning area. It's working out, from my perspective, surprisingly well. Would you agree, Aaron?
I actually I would agree 100%. This hybrid thing probably isn't ideal for most, but for her, it's going really well. She's got smaller class sizes when she's at school, and she, gets to kind of work at her own pace when she's here with me. She takes breaks when she needs to. She knows when she needs to focus and stay on track. And so far, it's going surprisingly well. I honestly was not expecting it to go this well, but that's been kind of a pleasant surprise throughout all of this. Is it ideal? No, but is it working for right now? Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful.
And if I can even go a little bit deeper with that, I mean, you actually feel like there's a bit of a benefit, right? I mean,
Absolutely, particularly with the smaller class sizes for her. Obviously they're enforcing strict social distancing guidelines while at school, and for her that has kind of meant that she gets the more individualized attention than she has previously, which for her is really beneficial. Just brief background, she has pretty severe ADHD and has a very hard time staying on task and staying focused. And this for her has kind of been, a little bright point in what for most is not an ideal situation. And that's really helped her a lot. And as problematic as it can be from time to time, if I'm answering a phone call with a customer and she needs help with a homework, or I guess a remote learning problem, I can't necessarily stop everything that I'm doing, but she's getting a lot more individualized attention than she ever would have previously. And that's been an amazing gift for her this year.
Nice. I love it. That's excellent.
Yeah, and I would really like to. I mean, I think that's such an important takeaway given the situation, and I would encourage, and here I give everybody a pat on the back all the way around too, because everybody knows what's kind of going on, and they're respectful of this work area / learning area, and it really doesn't get in the way of our effort here. At the end of the day, it's a company, right? I mean, you're doing work, but this really doesn't interfere with anything that we're doing. And correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron. I mean, I feel like our work gets done just fine, even although there's somebody here at school, as it were. So I would really, really encourage somebody, if you're in a position, I would work collectively with your company. And if you need to talk to somebody about how maybe it works in a company, we're here. I mean, I'd be glad to talk to anybody about how to make something out of the box work, because it does work, and it's been an unseen huge win for your daughter, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I know,
not to mention how lucky I am to have people like this guy. Nope, that guy to work with that are so understanding and so flexible. I have been beyond blessed to work for such an amazing company throughout all of this. Just gotta say
just lucky. Because there are all the other alternatives too, Corey. Because one of our mutual friends, very innovative guy, as you know, he took the bull by the horns, and he went out and searched for somebody to be a stand-in teacher. And it was he was very systematic about it. He wanted 8 to 10 kids in the group, and they found I believe it was one of the parents actually who did this, and everybody paid something. There was some skin in the game. And so whatever that was, you can arrive, you could do the math and see how many 10 students might have to pay, to one person to make it worth their while to be a quote unquote teacher. And you're really kind of proctoring kids through their lesson plan and holding them accountable is really all it came down to. And I reached out and I talked to this person, NC, his initials, and he said, I got to tell you, he says it surpassed our goals. It really worked out great. But I think there's, some managing expectations of what took place with all that. You just can't throw it out there.
Yeah.
There were some efforts that went into it. Now that's since gone away because their schools changed. They're now really kind of back at school where he is. So that was a very unique thing that they kind of created a teaching role for a limited class size. Great if that works out for you, but I don't think that's a fit for everybody. I think everybody's kind of between where Corey is, and you can talk about that a little bit, see what's working and maybe what's not working, and what's going on with Aaron.
Yeah. So my situation, guys, is that I am on the total opposite end of the spectrum. We are not back in school at all. We are staying at home. My wife's immunocompromised with ulcerative colitis, so we're going to keep her out of harm's way as much as possible and try to be as super respectful as possible. I also have a 97-year-old grandma who I visit every single Saturday. I cook food for my mom, and I deliver that food to her. And sometimes I'm actually feeding my grandma who has Parkinson's. I'm feeding her food. And so I keep my mask on. I stay super safe, but I have to be careful just for her and for, my mom. Obviously, my grandma's nearing the end of her life. So I want to spend every day that I can with her. And I think the biggest thing about everything going on in the world today, and the big C word, of course, is, these folks that are older, they don't get to see anybody. They don't get to have any connection anymore. So that connection is really important for me and something I value. And if it means that, I have to do certain things and take certain precautions, so be it. That being said, there's some challenges for sure with our kids being home. We've built them their own desks, so they have their own desks. And we're actually talking about turning our dining room area into a school zone, because we have an upstairs and a downstairs. And it seems like when the kids go upstairs, they're in their own rooms and they're not able to focus. That's a place where they relax. That's a place where they play sometimes during quiet time, stuff like that. So we're changing the dining room, which we very rarely use. We eat in the kitchen at the islands together, you know. We're going to change that into a school area, and it's going to be really great. My son has ADHD as well, and we have to hover. We have to be there with him for everything that he's going through. And I was so proud of him today because we had, you know, it's all about small wins when you have a kid that's struggling with sensory issues and ADHD. And, you know, today my wife had her infusion for her ulcerative colitis, and I was alone, you know, in the morning from 8 to 10 to figure it out for myself. I'm like, I got this. I can figure this out. So me and my dude, we did the work together, and, you know, we were reading about internet safety, believe it or not. And I actually, I don't know where it is, but I made my daughter sign a social media contract over the weekend.
I love that.
Yeah. Have you heard about it? Have you seen these?
I have not seen them, but I've heard of them. We're not at a point where we allow any social media for her at this point.
Yeah, you're not, or you are at a point?
No social media yet.
So my daughter's 12, and we had a no social media policy, but something slipped through the cracks with a TikTok account. So we grandfathered that in under very specific rules, and she chose the consequences. And I have this great template, you know, if the rules are violated, you know, there's no DMing, there's no following people, there's no things like that. And I did talk to her about other things that are very scary and very real. And she understands, and I trust my daughter. I've built that trust with her, and I don't think she has any intention of trying to trick me or anything like that. But that being said, you know, we talked about it. So anyways, bringing that back full circle, there's a lot of challenges at home, but we're working on it. We're figuring it out, and it's working. And I think we're all, you know, luckily safe right now. Everything's going well. I am in the state of Florida, which has, you know, changed some of the rules, and hopefully it'll be for the best rather than the worst. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think a couple of things you just nailed on there. Everybody's kind of feeling their way through what makes sense. And I just can't help but my heart goes out when you say, you know, these older people, because we're in a similar situation. I'm going to a friend's 90th birthday party, and obviously he's a much older person, but he hasn't seen anybody, and that's sad to think about. And Erin talking about her 4-year-old child who misses her friends. Those are heartbreaking things of all this. So Godspeed. I hope we get through it all, and everybody can get back to some source of normalcy, because there is a cost no matter which direction you go.
Yeah,
that's the takeaway. So it's good to share these things on what works, and I hope people can hear something that works. And if they got questions, reach out. I mean, I feel like we're good and open about things. We'd be happy to share what's working for us as a group.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, Erin, any other updates, any other things, any other tips that you have for other parents that are trying to do this hybrid thing like you're doing?
I think just staying involved is really important. Like you just started to touch on with the whole social media thing. You know, our kids basically have unlimited access to the internet right now, which is a very scary thought. So stay involved, stay close by whenever possible, because internet is a scary place, man. And we just gave them full permission to be on there all day, every day.
Yeah, it can be rough. Well, hey folks, next week we're going to try something different. I want you guys to tune in next week, because I will be cleaning something in my house with Ken. Ken will be coaching me through cleaning something. And Erin, if you're able to join us, I'd love to have you. But we're going to find something dirty, and we're going to clean it together with one of the Healthier Home products. So I encourage you to join us, because you're going to see the products in use real time. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it before or after, but it depends on what product we use. So which one will it be? Which one will it be, my friends? I can tell you I used 2 products today alone. I did a load of laundry. And the second one, I found a random unidentified stain upstairs in the movie room. And I say movie room because it's a TV where we watch movies. All right. There's not like an amphitheater up there or something. I'm just saying, it's just a place where a bunch of old couches and stuff like that. So I found a random stain. It's gone now because I used a special carpet cleaner. You can get it.
That a boy.
All right. All right, folks, I'll see you later. In the meantime, thanks again. This show was brought to you by Pull It Out and this green scrubber, which is really all you need to clean your grout. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you later.
We'll see you.